Okay, I'd like to call the November meeting of the Caryville Mayor and Board of Aldermen to order. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Feedley.
Here.
Mr. Eric Jones.
Here.
Mr. Eric Smith.
Here.
Ms. Beth Lawson. Here. Mr. Lloyd Lawson.
Here.
Mayor Stixberry.
Here. We have a quorum. Brian, will you say opening prayer for us, please?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for this day, all the blessings you've given us. Thank you for the people who's come out tonight. Please watch over the service, police department, fire department, all the people in the community. Keep us safe. Keep us healthy, Lord. Pray for those that's sick, couldn't come out. Pray for those ones with cancer and lost. Thank you, Jesus, for all the blessings. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Brian. Okay, first order of business will be swearing in of our one new council member and our two returning council members, which will be Mr. Eric Smith, Ms. Beth Lawson, and our new council member will be Vicki Headley, which is coming back to us from a little hiatus, I guess you would say, of a few years, but she used to be with us. So if you all will walk around the front, I will administer the oath to you all. Okay, well, best way to do this is repeat your name, and I'll read all of it, and you all say I do at the end, we'll be fine, okay? Okay, I
David Eric Smith.
do solemnly swear that I have the qualifications named in the charter for the office of Alderman, that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Tennessee, and the charter and ordinances of the town of Caryville, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office, so help me God. Okay. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. You two back. Glad to have Vicki. Come up and take your seat, Vicki. Get that.
You know what? I was going to get it.
All right. Don't let me forget before they leave to sign this. Okay. Like I said, I'm glad that our two returning aldermen are with us, and I'm glad Vicki's back with us. Okay. Give everybody a few minutes to look over the October minutes. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes? What's the pleasure of the council?
Make a motion to accept them as written.
Here, second.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, citizens input. Anybody like to address the council? Okay. Communication from the mayor. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone that was involved with the trunk or treat this year. It was a great success. I think we probably had a few more this year, Beth. I think we had more this year than we had last year, probably.
Yes.
At least as many, if not more.
Yeah, and the weather was not that great, so.
No, considering the weather, we had a great turnout, and we had more people participating to help give out the candy. Had I think Red Ash Church had some more individual people. Hopefully next year we'll have more people, maybe some more churches and some more organizations to come and help us. I think it can only get bigger and better.
Absolutely.
So basically that's what I have from that. Okay, financial report.
For the month of October 2018, In our general fund, we have $670,852.50. In our rainy day fund, we have $45,000. In our special fire protection fees, we have $90,518.30. With our adjusted general fund balance, $535,334.20. In our State Street Aid fund, we have $251,721.67. With the State Street Aid, when we get our invoice from the Rogers Group, that will go back down. We'll pay for our payroll just to let you know. In our industrial fund, we have $5,943.68. In our drug fund, we have $12,593.35. So our revenues for the month of October is $127,705.19. Our expenditures for October is $135,297.20, with a difference of $7,592.01.
And 1 penny.
And 1 penny, 1 penny in there. Got to count for everything. For the month of October, we've done really good compared to that we did buy a police car.
Okay.
But with that said, we've done really great for October.
Okay. And we should be somewhere around 33 to 34%, and we're at 32% of the budget, so we're right on target. Okay. I hear a motion, we accept the finance report.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, reports from council members, Mr. Lawson.
Street and sanitation department for the month of September and October. We had picked up 60 ton of garbage, 4 ton of recycling, 8 tons of brush, and mowed and cut back the right of ways in the city, and picked up brush throughout the city. And mowed and cleaned up Asbury Park, picked up trash along the side of the roads, and finished paving throughout the city. Starting to pick up leaks throughout the city. Notice that T-Dot has got her turn lane.
I noticed that today.
So that's good news. So.
Very good news for the school system.
They did a really good job getting that done.
That was fast too.
I think they've still got some red light work to do.
They do.
Yes.
They've got some red light work to do. I don't know what's happened. It's not like it was.
I think they're going to add probably an arrow on that turn lane.
You know anything about that, David? But the red light's changed, ain't it?
Yes, it has.
It's not on the same cycle it was.
No. I talked to TDOT and they got to go back in and have it reprogrammed, because I reckon they said they were going to be turning, or putting that turner.
Yeah, I know the one lane holds, or the one towards the falls, that lane will hold, and the other lane will be through, and there's no reason for it to hold.
Yeah, it's like a 30-second delay on it.
That's all I have.
Okay. Ms. Beth?
For the library for the month of October, they had 1,062 books checked out, or items checked out, 955 items checked in. There was 504 e-book users. They added 13 new patrons. They added 75 items and deleted 4. There was 445 computer users. They loaned 9 books and borrowed 33. They held 4 children's programs with 95 people in attendance, with a total library attendance of 678. The events they held was Alan Miller came and shared his ghost stories for the 2nd year in a row, with the attendance of 32 people, and everyone had a great time. They had a movie out on the lawn, which was a huge success. Over 50 people showed up and asked for more programs like that. And then in the month of November, they're going to have a story time on Thanksgiving on the 16th. And they'll have pop trivia night where patrons can get a chance to win some gift cards. And they're also starting to prepare for their big event, the Polar Express. So they're busy.
Busy. Still amazing. That many people come to our little library.
Right.
All right. Mr. Smith?
For the Carroll Police Department monthly report for October, shows officers responded to 252 complaints. including 27 accidents, 19 arrests, 7 drug arrests, 29 citations written, and a total of the officers driving 9,150 miles for the last month just through patrol.
Okay. A busy month for them too. All right, Mr. Jones, Fire Department.
Fire report was one house fire, 2 vehicle fires, a brush fire, 2 fire alarms, responded to 6 motor vehicle accidents, and set up LZ for Lifestar 2 times for 14 calls.
All right, so.
Real quick, Teresa, if you got to work on that email I sent you, about the domain. As soon as you get it, let me know. 'Cause
Probably
we
did.
need
Update us on that.
We need to get a .gov. It basically shows that we're officially government. You've got to jump through a couple of hoops to get it because it's through the federal government.
Right.
But I've sent, and Teresa or Laura would be best suited to handle it because they're here with the actual information in front of them. Probably you or I will have to come and fill in some stuff at some point when you get to that. But otherwise, we're going to have to pay no small amount of money to have a name, whereas the government, once we get it, will give it to us. And not to get too technical, but listen, putting that .gov behind it just makes you seem legit.
Okay,
Anybody can get a .com or .org.
okay,
Only government can get a .gov, and that's what most municipalities use.
okay. And time frame, you have any idea? Of course, the government don't work real fast.
Yeah, but as soon as Teresa, I sent her the email, and of course I sent it to her as she was going out of town. But as soon as she gets on that, it should, couple of weeks.
Okay,
Maybe.
is the website ready to go other than that?
Yeah, basically what we're gonna do is once we register that, and I gotta have the information of it being registered, then you just drop the code in, and again, not to get technical on it, but all the code will make the website, and that's what, you'll type in www. Hopefully we'll just get caryville.gov, even though there are a couple other Caryvilles, I don't know. Or City of Caryville or something.
Okay.
And that's, you'll type that in, website will pop up, and .gov's get a preferable Google rating if somebody's Googling.
Okay, so we're a lot closer than we was.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, do I hear a motion, we approve all reports as given?
Motion made.
Seconded.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, any old business? Okay. Under new business. Okay, before we get started on new business, I'd like to get you all to look at number 7 and number 9. I think that's for the discussion of storage buildings for the various departments, and number 9 is discuss sale of beer on election days. I think that needs to be done in workshop. We need to workshop those 2 issues, if that's okay with you all. I think we need just to have a workshop on those 2 issues. We can do that in workshop before we come back to council. If that's okay with you all. Everybody okay with that? Okay. All right. Number 1, council to approve second reading of ordinance number 2018-10, amending the annual operating budget for fiscal year beginning July 1, 2018, and ending June 30th, 2019. So, we passed it on first reading last month. This is just, what was this for? This was
This
for
on the maintenance of effort.
maintenance of effort.
We had to add $3,550 back in there.
Okay,
In our
okay,
budget.
all right. Do I hear a motion we approve on second reading?
I'll make the motion.
Second motion.
Discussion? Call roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Beasley?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Ms. Vicki Beverly?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson? Mayor Stewksbury?
Yes, motion carries. All right, number 2, council discuss library director position. Also on this, I think we need to table this to a later date because we have to work on the maintenance of effort issues for this. I'd like to table.
Can I make one small
Yes.
comment? Have we contacted the county library board about this process yet? My understanding is by state law, the county library board has to be involved in the search process.
Yes, they will.
Okay, all I need
Like I
to
said,
know.
we need to, like I said, we got to work out some issues with that. We'll table this to a later date.
I just wanted to say it while it was fresh on my mind.
Okay, that's fine. Do I hear a motion, we table this to a later time?
I so moved.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Call roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Peebly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Miss Vicki Heatherly? Sorry. Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes, motion carries. All right, number 3, council discuss participating in TML, the pool's property conservation matching grant program.
This is a grant, conservation, it can be used for security cameras or anything that deals with security to a building. I think Vicki may have some, information maybe on.
I just received this in the email and then I forwarded it on to Teresa, and it is a safety grant, it's a match grant. It's going to be around $1,000, be $2,000 total, $1,000 for us to match with the other if we get it. Back a while back, we voted to do some safety cameras around the building and some panic buttons for our employees here. So this is due on the 16th, today is the 13th.
Isn't that the way it always
So,
works?
but if we get busy, and I contacted someone with the county today who did the school system, and they're going to get me a quote after this meeting. They're supposed to make me to give me the quote that they use, which we could get in contact with tomorrow and get a fresh quote if we need a fresh one according to what the date is on that one.
Okay.
And then get with them and try to go ahead and submit how much panic buttons are going to cost and security cameras or whatever has to be to do with security and safety. And it's not going to be able to be much but $2,000, but I mean,
You
we
won't
can
can.
go over that. But yeah, I hate to let $1,000,
It is.
you know.
That'll buy at least one camera, maybe 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever that counts.
All right. Do I hear a motion that we participate or apply? Beth, did you make that motion? Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Discussion? Call roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Peebly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Ms. Vicki Heatherly? Mr. Lloyd Lawson? Mayor Stixberry?
Yes, motion carried. Number 4, we have to pass, along with what we just did, there is a resolution, another hoop we have to jump through. Resolution number 2018-08, Property Conservation Matching Grant Program. That's a hoop we have to jump through in order to dot the i's and cross the t's. So do I hear a motion that we approve resolution number 2018-08?
Make a motion. I'll second
Mr.
it.
Smith and Mr. Peebly. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Peebly?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Ms. Vicki Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes. Motion carried. Number 5, council discuss transfer from Board of Education to the County of Caryville. Vicki, Beth, whichever one wants to take the lead on this, both of you, both these ladies, before they say anything, both of these ladies has worked on this together on this. So whichever one wants to.
Okay, I'll jump in and then Beth can jump in and help me. Okay, this property is the property that's across from Shawnee's where the playground was at Caryville Elementary School. So since the elementary school was moved to a new location, that property has been sitting there and we've been maintaining that property since the school left there. So that property is TVA property. That property is owned by TVA, that one section down there that's at the lower bottom part and it's below the floodplain. So no structures can ever be built on that. It can only be used for parks, recreation, playground, things like that. No permanent structures can be built on it. So we discussed this back in 2011 with the Board of Education, and at that point, you know, we were going to try to take it over from the board, but we never could get with the right person from TVA. It just lay there. So then Beth got on the board, and so she envisioned the same thing, having a park there. So she got on it and started on the trail and got some people involved in it. And we finally got to the right person with TVA, and got a letter back, and Jordan, George Rockwell is a planning and development guy for our city. So he got in touch with TVA. He has worked diligently with them. He is working with the Community Planning Commission in Knoxville, and we have a meeting with them tomorrow. But in order for us to do this, we had to go before the Board of Education, talk to them about subletting this property to us, because the original contract with TVA was for the Board of Education for as long as they wish to keep that property for playground, park, whatever. So the board has agreed, and they voted in their last meeting last month to let us have the usage of that property. So Dale Cantrell, their attorney, has drawn up a lease agreement, and I talked some with Kathy about it, and the agreement is that they will let us have the usage of that property, and TVA has approved that they would let us do that. The stipulations are these. Number one, that we carry insurance on the property, liability in case anything happens. Number two, that if for some reason we go over there and put something on there, a building or something we're not supposed to, and it goes into litigation, and we do something that TVA, without TVA's approval, then, and if there's a lawsuit, then we're responsible, not the Board of Education. They're not responsible for any litigation or anything goes on. And then the third thing was, if we ever want to relinquish the usage of it and no longer maintain it, it goes back to the Board of Education. So that's where we're at on it, and there's no problem, I don't think, anywhere that I can see, or the Board of Education attorney or Kathy from what I've told her, that it's kind of cut and dry. So then the next question is, I know what you're going to say is, okay, where do we get the money to do the park? So tomorrow, Beth, myself, and Jordan are going to Knoxville to the Community Development Center over there, and they help you acquire funding for that. So I don't know how much we could get or what, but it's a start.
Gotta start somewhere.
And if we could have something to keep this, kids out of the streets, playing down the streets of here, we'll have a walking trail, a little shelter thing. Beth and I talked about a little shelter where they can have birthday parties. Parents can come over and have little birthday parties with their kids. And just, for the our local citizens, plus anyone getting off in the interstate that needs a break, go over and sit, maybe have some shade trees. And Beth, you tell some ideas of what you have.
We're gonna put a playground over there.
Yeah, playground.
And maybe, it just depends, a splash pad or something like that on the other property across the street.
There's that little piece across the street where the road comes between the old ball field and the new. There's a small portion where we did trunk or treat, that right down through there. It's a little narrow, it could be like for a parking lot. But then right behind it, there's a little area that could be used for something. Yeah. So, I think it's 1.5 acres, is what I read in the original.
I've got the map at home I was looking at the other day. It's big enough to do a splash pad easily. And just a real quick one, we already have insurance on Asbury for liability, right?
Right, it'd just be.
So it'd just be adding on.
Just
to
be
that.
adding.
So that seems easy enough.
Yes, that'd be the issue.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
So I make a motion, we accept this agreement and move forward. And then it goes back, after we sign it, it goes back to the Board of Education, and then we send it to TV, and we let TVA look at it and approve it before we can do it. But we have to make sure that we are going to get the insurance, and it has to be in our motion that we will provide the insurance, and that's in the agreement.
okay, so that's in your motion for the insurance, okay. Beth, you
Follow
gonna-
the lease agreement,
Okay,
yes.
Beth, I
And I'll
hope,
second it.
I started to say, you'd all be one second that motion. All right, any discussion? Call roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Beatley?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Ms. Vicki Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes, motion carries. All right, number 6, council discuss annual Christmas light contest. Ms. Bailey.
Okay, I was just looking at my calendar to try to figure out when the deadline for the lighting would be. Well, first off, I'd just like to say to the board, I've done this ever since I've been on the board. And my mother was always a part of it with me, and she would go around and we would look at the lights, and I'd take my nephews and stuff like that, and they would help me judge. And, you know, I never judged. I always let them, I let the kids help because, you know, that's what it's all about really, you know, is the kids and stuff. And then my mom, because she really enjoyed things like that. Well, with her being gone, I would really like somebody else to either take this over and do it, or I'd like somebody else to help me or something. And I know I spoke with Bobby the other day about it, and we discussed maybe trying to get it's hard to get a board together or even community help together to do this because everybody's busy and it's around the holidays and stuff like that. So, I mean, we've discussed people like at the chamber or maybe different cities or stuff like that. I don't feel like it should always be the same people every year. I mean, you know, with the trunk or treat or with the lights or with whatever, I really think it should be, and it doesn't have to be anybody. I mean, like, we don't have to go out and say it's going to be you, and you, you know, and let, you know, it can be somebody anonymous or whatever. I don't care. I just don't feel like it should be me again. I mean, especially because I just, you know, with my mom being gone and stuff like that, I just really don't feel like I'm in it anymore. So, but with that being said, the Friday before Christmas is the 21st, and that would probably be like a good date to say, okay, the judging is going to be this day if somebody else wants to do it. If not, if nobody else wants to pick it up and do it, I don't care to try to find somebody else. I mean, I've had, like I said, several people help me in the past. I would just feel better if somebody else could either say, hey, I'll help you, or let me see what I can do, or something like that.
I would help you.
So, I mean, it is hard because when it was something that you guys always did, so either way.
Well, I know, you know, we had that discussion.
Yes.
And I was thinking that maybe try to find maybe someone from Jacksboro or follow a disinterested third party
Right.
that would do the judging. Okay, that way nobody can say, well, so-and-so, so-and-so. If we can find that person that will be a disinterested, yeah, if we can find someone to do that, I think that'd be the best thing to
Maybe
do.
Cindy and Christy from the chamber and their kids.
Yeah.
That's not, you know, somebody like, you know, that's this.
Somebody that ain't us.
Right, correct. Okay, so you're gonna help do, okay, all right, so.
But, I mean, we can go ahead and say the deadline, that way if
That's
they put
fine.
it in the paper or
That's
whatever. Because they do have to contact the city and say, I want my house entered, because, I mean, and yes, that's good in a way, and in a way it's not. I mean, like, we would drive around and they would say, well, what about this house? And I'm like, well, it's not on the list. And they're like, but it looks nice. But in order to know who really is trying and participating, they have to contact the city.
You know, we do the same thing countywide with Christmas parade community.
You have to
And
do
you have
that.
to register for it too, so that's
Okay.
not uncommon.
Okay, good, because I thought that was just, so if they're gonna put it in the paper, it'll be, the judging will be on the 21st, which is a Friday, or by the 21st. And then, of course, winners will be said in the January meeting.
And
But,
the prizes will be the same as last year.
I think it was 3, 2, and 1.
Okay. And they have to contact City Hall in order to be considered.
Yes,
And that needs to, if y'all put that in the paper also.
before the 21st.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, sounds good. Okay, number 8, council discuss hiring David Hackmaker after his 90-day probation. Mr. Smith. Or, I'm sorry, Mr. Jones, excuse me. Other Eric.
I'm not talking to Eddie about us from the part-time to
Yes.
full-time for the fire department.
Mm-hmm.
There's been no problems, no issues recommended by Eddie. We hired him, as far as you know.
Okay, far as I know, we've not, you know, David's done a fine job. As far as I, you know, Eddie, I talked to Eddie, and Eddie had death in the family, and he's not able to be with us tonight, but as far as I know, we've had no issues with David. David's a good worker. David's done a good job.
Let me brag on him too, he's done a great job. Well, I've seen what time we have had to tell the difference, especially on that side.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can tell a big difference. So is that the form of motion that we promote David to full-time?
I'll make the motion.
Fair second.
I'll say that.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Cleveland?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yes.
Ms. Vicky Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson? Mayor Stixberry?
Yes. Welcome, David. Thank you. Okay, number 10, council discussed posting no hunting in the city limits. Mr. Lawson, I think that was your,
Yeah, had some complaints from some of the citizens that, over here in the Powder Spring Holler area, going back out to Bruce's Gap, people coming in behind their houses and hunting on the property and hunting. These people are coming in down to Powder Spring Holler area, which is part of property. We're not supposed to be in there, but a lot of people don't know that. And, I would like to put some signs up there, some no hunting signs, just in that area there, in the Holler area. I talked to Casey over at the park, and he said it was fine with him. And, I would, I think, David, you got some signs, so we've got some signs. I'm gonna put those.
okay, so you're talking about just the Powder Springs area?
Yes, right there where the parking area is there, and maybe put about 4 to
Okay, you're talking about where I started the little bridge going up, that's Pearland?
yes.
Okay.
If you have people in behind your house,
I don't have any going.
They are here in our homes.
During the day, when I'm at work?
Yes. There's people that we had, just the other day, there were people that were shot.
I know the Russells have problems too.
Okay, well, I have no problem putting it up in that, in that one area. I don't think that'd be an issue.
And that's
myself.
just on park property that we're gonna be posting anyway.
Okay.
So it ain't leaving private property.
Okay.
You've talked to Casey and everything's good on their, that's the only thing that worried me with the Smith mistakes.
No, they've got, so they went a few years ago, put boundary markers there. And, but anyway, people goes in there and they actually go down and shoot guns. And they, I think, park rangers stopped them with that. But a lot of people goes in there and they don't know that that area is park property. And a lot of people don't know that it's even, part of that area is even city property. Not all of it's city property, part of it is.
Have you had any complaints, Brian?
We did last year, had a few, we actually run a guy off from there. He pulled in there and walked my through there. One of the officers tracked him down, walked back there and told him he needed to get off. Of course, half of it was Caryville City up through there, and the Fairlands Park and everything, so he didn't have any problem leaving, and we've not seen him back. We don't have a lot of problems, but we've had a few complaints.
And we've had, last year, before last, we had some people shoot some deer there. Killed a big 8-point deer and a 4-point deer right there along the walking trails in the park.
There's a big deer in my yard. I'm not gonna say
No,
But somebody's gonna want to, we don't put these signs
See,
up.
people shot these deer on the walking trail.
that. That's first I've heard of it.
Okay, now, this will be, just so we know, that it's gonna be just in that one area. Okay. All right, that form of motion, we do that in that one particular area that you described.
Just in the park, out in the, But, yeah, I make a motion, we put, no hunting signs up. All area.
Okay, all right, do I hear a second? All right, discussion, call the roll, please.
Mr. Patrick Cleveland?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Beth Lawson?
Yeah.
Ms. Vicky Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Stixberry?
Yes, motion carries. Number 11, council discuss Christmas bonus. Mr. Smith, I think that was one you had added, sir.
This is, last year during the budget, we just adopted what we've always done, but after some discussion, this is something that we've not approached in several years. As far as who gets what, I know there's some discussion as far as part-time getting the same as full-time. Now, this is my opinion, looking at it, they're employees, part-time versus full-time, still employees. If they're on the books as an employee, they should get them out. This is a Christmas bonus, it's saying a performance evaluation bonus being given to them. There was some discrepancy over some felt that it wasn't right that part-time was getting the same as full-time. My opinion is that if they're an employee, it's a Christmas bonus. I mean, if you look at the numbers, everybody should have a copy of it, I think. It's a little bit of over from what we'd actually budgeted, a few dollars. As far as any question is who gets what gets what, I've never can remember nothing being said into the motion, but it's who gets what, who doesn't get what.
You said we've not visited it several years, right?
They've
So I mean,
been
there's a
since
couple of us
years.
that's probably weren't on
Years.
council the last time it was discussed.
Maybe Vicky or,
Well, it started back because we wanted to do something for the employees because we had come back to 4 days a week back when we were short. And then we said we would try to compensate them and do something for them, you know. So that year at Christmas, while we were before, we
Yes.
said that we thought that would be a great gesture to do. I always like to give our employees those, you know, that work and do service for us. I don't think you can ever pay anybody for what they're worth if they're really working and working hard. I don't know how, is this $50 for the, however exactly, is this $50 for the
It's the
volunteer firemen? So they get 50.
Mhm.
And then who's
Planning
these
commission.
$100?
The $100 is planning commission
Planning
and the
commission and the-
council. We have part-time and full-time, it's 300. We have fire chief 100 and assistant fire chief 100.
Why did they just get 100?
I guess the logic is it's double what we're paying the non-chief, assistant chief volunteer fireman. I mean,
But
just by looking at the way the numbers.
But now, to me, I don't know what you all think, this is my personal opinion. To me, Eddie's a part of it.
that's what I'm thinking, the department head should make,
I
I
agree.
mean, they should get like the other department heads.
That's just
That's a
my,
big job.
that's my opinion.
Here's another thing too, I think maybe every year, maybe we ought to look at it when it comes in the fall of the year. Where are we financially each year, you know, and make a decision. I know you've got to have a budget, maybe budget time, you know, and look and see where are we each year. May not be the same, you know, and I know this is not a performance bonus at all. It's not a performance bonus, and, you know, a lot of companies, they'll give a percentage, you know.
Right.
You want a percentage or whatever. But this is just something to show our appreciation for our workers. So,
I know in the last two budget cycles that I've been associated with, when we come to this, we've all just kind of said, well, we'll just do what we did last year and move on. But we probably do need to back up and address it.
I can tell you what it used to be. It used to be $200 and $10 for every year he's here.
Like the longevity.
That's how it used to be.
I like that idea too. That you're rewarding those who stick with us and are here for the duration of good and bad.
You're also giving incentives for good employees to stay or good employees to come in if there's a position open.
Right.
You know,
So we might want to revisit that, like you said, next budget time. Come
Yes.
up with a plan where,
where are we in the budget that we could possibly amend it for this year if we wanted to?
We are $300 over.
We're over right now.
We budgeted $7,050. Right now it's $7,400. Well, employee turnover, every year is going to be different.
Right.
And we really can't budget every year depending on how many employees that we
So we need to set up a general idea, but we need to err on the side of a little bit more than we need, instead of a little bit less than we need.
I think we do. Just-
Instead of hitting right on the nose. we-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay, well, I was asking her who some of these people were, but I didn't know who these part-time people were. If this Jeff person and Dewey are part-time and we just hired him full-time, I thought we only had one position at the fire department we were hiring for.
Full-time, yes.
we already had the part.
We
Yeah.
had the two part-time.
Yes, and they're-
Now
yeah.
we're hiring a full-time?
Yeah.
Are we keeping the two part-time?
that's in the budget.
But it was until we hired him full-time.
That was in the budget workshop.
To have two part-time and one full-time?
Your budget is 10,000 for part-time.
But I thought that was before we got him. And then we applied, then we did applications for the full-time. which I said, no, this is so totally off task. But I didn't know who some of these people were, so.
But no, it's in, we actually budgeted the part-time still in there at 10,000 and brought him in as full-time. Because originally we wanted 2 full-time, in order to work it out, we kept 1 part-time, one $10,000 line item, part-time and 1 full-time.
So do we have somebody here 24 hours a day now?
It's somebody here Monday through Friday.
So where does the part-time people come in if he's working 40 hours a week?
It just depends on what they're needing to help him. There's some stuff he can't do by himself, equipment, one in Knoxville and service, and then that's where they come into play. Same way with the part-time beforehand. We never-
The part-time never
never
changed.
Close to it.
It's just, this way we for sure have somebody here Monday through Friday, 8 till 5.
Right.
Both our,
I didn't know
both
we
of our
had
part-time, both of those part-time people, Dewey works at Jacksboro full-time, and then Jeff works at La Follette full-time. So they're here mostly during the morning up to what, David, to about noon?
Up till 11:30, 12 o'clock, and they,
So most of the time then there's 2 people here.
There's 2, some,
All of us.
not all the time.
sometimes.
They're not here every day, but when they are here, David's got somebody with him, at least one of them is here with him 3 days a week.
Oh, okay.
So he's not by himself all day, every day. There's usually somebody, one of those 2 is here.
But it's still on part-time, they can't exceed the 10,000 limits there.
10,000 together or 10,000 each?
Yeah.
Together, okay. Okay.
Your part-time is $10,000.
Okay.
That's the reason why their hours is minute, and what he can be done. They can't exceed that much together.
Any other questions? I mean, is that all you had?
And so that's why I want to discuss this. If it's something that wasn't, we just kind of took the 7,000, went with it from years past, and the year before it was 7,000 from the year before, and
We do need to revisit that come budget time.
Yeah, we definitely got to mark that. for
And,
budget
you know,
workshop.
like David said, it used to be the flat rate, then plus your so much a year per year. And that's probably a better system. I guess that rewards our longevity employees.
Okay, let's go and talk about that just for a minute, because when we do that, are we gonna count that as a benefit? Is it counted as a benefit for our employees? Because in the personnel policy, you know, you got full-time, part-time, or we need to reword personnel policy, because personnel policy has it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if it's
when we
been
get there,
classified.
we'll discuss.
We'll
Yeah,
discuss that when,
yeah.
come budget time, we'll figure that out.
see, it got brought up with the department heads, was they had a bonus. You remember the years we done, the department heads got the bonus. It split 6 months to 6 months. And that's kind of confusion got thrown into it, because the department heads was getting allocated a little bit more than everybody else, but that was part of the raises they was being given before we stopped that a couple years ago. And they split it up, and we got one in Christmas and one in June or July, which when the other one came through. And a lot of people had the misunderstanding that was a Christmas given to them, but it wasn't a Christmas bonus for department heads.
Okay, so we'll revisit this come budget time and get a better system. Okay, is that all, Eric? Okay. Well, I think we need, I think that the fire chief needs to be the same as the department, because he is a department head.
I agree with that.
That's my opinion.
I say up his to what it is.
Can we go ahead and work on a budget amendment for that this year? And then, like I said, surely we got money somewhere. that we can
Yeah,
make
for
up
that,
$100
yeah,
on.
yeah, we can do that.
I mean, that's not bank-breaking money.
No,
That's just,
no.
thank you, Eddie, for doing all you do.
Yeah,
Correct.
he does do a lot of grants. and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Oh, one thing I did on speaking of grant, I'm glad you said that. Eric, we did get the letter from the state on our fire truck grant, we did get a letter from the state saying that we are good and we're good to go. We've jumped through all the hoops, dotted i's, crossed the t's. So we can proceed on with getting our specifications and try to get a truck ordered and try to get it in here. So it'll be at least a year. It takes that long to get it. So we're working on it. So that's another 18 months, year to 18 months. That's another milestone that we're working on. So we're getting to it. Anything else come before the board? Do I hear a motion? We adjourn. Second, I hear a second? All in favor say aye. Aye. All right.
It's over.
Oh, really?
Yep. They just texted me.
How do you do?
They won 35 to 20.
Good.
They probably took them out.
Sign that.
What did they put you on this year? Oh, really?
But you, yeah.